There's a massive strike going on in Hollywood where the Writers Guild and the Screen Actors, they're both striking for better conditions amongst actors. Now, most people don't know this, but when we think of actors, we think of like Tom Cruise, Denzel Washington, these big, massive stars. But the truth is the average actor makes around $30,000 a year in Los Angeles, which is very difficult to make a living and just live a reasonable life, and does not have health insurance. So that's what the basis of the strike is. And this past weekend, there was a story about a talk show coming back amid this strike. And that talk show was the Drew Barrymore show. And there was massive backlash. And of course, a very important lesson for us within this story. So remember, that's what the Therapist React series is all about, is learning lessons from popular stories happening in the news and from pop culture itself. My name's Elliott Connie, and I'm a licensed psychotherapist, and I like to cover the news in a way that allows you to highlight particular parts of each story that are related to our psychology and our mental health. And as I watched Drew Barrymore go through this, a couple of things stood out to me, and I want to cover what those things are. But to catch you up, what happened first was Drew Barrymore, the host of this show, decided that she would bring her show back without writers. And obviously the people striking got very upset. Drew Barrymore was one of the shows that is being struck, as they say. You need to hire writers who are currently striking, and if you don't hire writers, then you're going around the system and making the writers feel irrelevant, disrespected, and you're making their strike harder, because you're trying to show that these things can move on without writers, which is not true, but Drew Barrymore tried to do that anyway. And the backlash she got was significant. So much so that she made an apology video, which I'm gonna play here.
I deeply apologize to writers. I deeply apologize to unions. I deeply apologize. I wanted to own a decision so that it wasn't a PR protected situation, and I would just take full responsibility for my actions. I know there's just nothing I can do that will make this okay for those it is not okay with. This is bigger than me, and there are other people's jobs on the line. I want to just put one foot in front of the other and make a show that's there for people, regardless of anything else that's happening in the world.
So there was her apology. And in the original apology, Drew Barrymore, she made the apology, as you just saw, but then she said she was going to continue to go forward and make her show in spite of the backlash. But the backlash continued, and she has eventually decided to pause her plans to bring the show back. According to her explanation, she was focused on the people on the show needing to work, like all of the people that make the show happen, excluding the writers, but all the people that make the show happen. She didn't want them to go without, so she wanted to make a show so all of those people could work. But that kind of negates the thousands of people striking. So she eventually reversed her decision and has now decided to halt her show. Other talk shows that were thinking about coming back have seen the Drew Barrymore experience and decided that they are not going to come back either, so it's created kind of a cascade. So the thing that I want to highlight, though, is how important it is to listen, admit wrong, and then make a change. There's no such thing as anybody that's going to be without making mistakes. So let's assume that Drew Barrymore had good intentions and she just made a mistake. What stands out to me, which I think is kind of a human superpower that a lot of people don't exercise enough, is the ability to apologize, admit fault, and then make a new plan or create new behaviors. So Drew Barrymore was wrong here. And I'm saying that because she admitted to being wrong. And all of her colleagues, Drew Barrymore is in the top 1% of the people in the entertainment industry. She is not going without during this strike. I have a really good friend, his name is Tiffany Haddish, who is also striking. And she told me, she said, I'm not striking for me, I'm fine. I'm striking for who I used to be. I'm striking for the people in the position where I used to be in. And I think Drew Barrymore probably lost touch with that and was only focused on the people that she knew working on her show and wanted them to work, so that she brought it back. But that human superpower, that ability to admit fault, make and apologize, and then create new behaviors or do something different, we don't exercise that enough. And it was wonderful actually to see that happen. Now, you can look at Drew Barrymore in that apology video like this is something that caused her angst and stress, and this has not been easy for her. And I'm not happy about that. I don't celebrate anybody struggling, but it is nice to see people exercising that strength that we all have as human beings that I don't think we all exercise enough. We are all fallible. We all make mistakes. So that means all of us need to be able to admit when we've made a mistake and then create a new behavior. That is true for everybody. Since we all have to accept we are not perfect and thus make mistakes, then the other is equally true. We have to be able to admit our flaws and faults when they occur. We have to be able to apologize to the people we may have caused harm to, and then we may have to change our behavior or course of action. So I shout out Drew Barrymore for doing that. I know a lot of actors now. I spend a lot of time in LA doing some work on a TV project. So I know a lot of actors that are being significantly impacted by the strike who were hurt by Drew Barrymore's decision. But she's human and makes mistakes, which means she has to be able to activate her human superpower. And I think Drew Barrymore did that well here. I wish more people would do that, admit their flaws when they occur, apologize, and then create new behaviors and choose a new course of action. And if we were able to do that, I think we'd have a better society. So that's the lesson here. It's very important, and I want all of you to be able to move in that way. So thanks for being here. I really, really appreciate it. Again, this is the Therapist React series where we focus on news stories and things happening in pop culture and learn the mental health lessons and the psychological lessons involved in each one of these stories. We make one of these videos each and every day, Monday through Friday. Please support my channel by liking this video, sharing this video, hitting the subscribe button, and make sure you hit the notification bell so you get notified each time we post a new video. And please leave a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this video and on this story. Love y'all. Thank you for watching and for your support. I can't be here without you. So thanks for being here so much, and I will see you in the next video.